Yes, yes, yes. A new season of Destiny 2 is out, and this 3.0 subclass we have today is the Solar 3.0, and this is for all my Titan mains here. This is the early stage of something that's probably going to be potentially filthy for you to play with throughout the whole season. If you love the AoE, if you love to get into people's faces and then big explosions and setting things on fire in the game, then you are here at the right place. We're going to talk about this Titan build that I came up with. I'm combining it with my Hunter build that I'm doing for Solar, but I'm putting my flair on it. And the cool thing is, you can pick and choose the stuff you want to do. I'm just going to show you what I'm doing to have fun with it. Right now, you're seeing gameplay of me just burning things to the ground and getting my melees back quickly. Let me show you what I am doing to get this stuff. We're going to talk about it, and in the comments I would like you to share what you're doing, what is something that is different, and let's see. I'm always here to see different stuff. It's really fun. That's why we play the game. So obviously this is all going to be revolving around the hammer, so throwing those hammers and then they have an explosion after it, it just adds to it. Simple tower and barricade. You're not about to jump. We are doing throwing hammers. At first, I was doing hammer strike, but right now I am staying with throwing hammers for two reasons. So, in a second, I'm going to talk to you about the slide and uppercut. But if I don't want to do that, I could just throw my throwing hammer, and once I pick it back up, I get I grant cure, and cure. You get the heal in a burst of mending flame, solar light. So pretty much once I pick up my solar hammer, I start to regenerate health and it's uninterrupted. So that's really cool to do. So if you want to heal, if you're in a pinch, solar grenade, in my opinion, is one of the better grenades for Solar 3.0. So that's gonna be really cool to use. I have seen people use the thermite grenade. So those are the two you might want to interchange, but if there's something else, please let me know. So the aspects we're using consecration right here. So when you're sliding, you activate a melee and launch a wave of fire. And then while you're in the air, you hit the melee button again, and it does that cool slam down effect. All right, so with this aspect right here, this is the one that when you slide to the ground, you get a wave of solar flames going in front of the opponents, and that's going to scorch them. And then when you do the second part with hit the melee button again and slam down, you are going to get them ignited, and that's going to cause damaging over time, which is fantastic. And the second one right here is Soul Invictus. This is pretty much your hammer of soul. So when you kill people with your solar ability, so that means your grenade, your hammer, or the slide and uppercut, you're going to get the solar sunspots, which you stand in it, regenerates health and your abilities. So the cool thing about this build is we have 3 abilities, but in 2 slots. So you think about it, you got your standard grenade, you have your throwing hammer, but with this, you have your sliding down and then your uppercut, and then you slam down. So you got 3 abilities. That's already fun as it is. So let's talk about fragments. Now, remind you, this is stage 1 of the build. There are 4 more builds that are coming out. There's 4 more fragments that are coming out that's going to make this very interesting. So right here, we're going to start with Ember Ashes. Now, I know it might be locked for some people, but if you had it already unlocked before 3.0, you are in luck. You apply more scorch stacks to the target, and you know how to do the scorch stacks by doing those, either throwing a grenade or doing that slide uppercut. That's going to give you more stacks so you can ignite the target quicker. So, and then we all have Ember of Torches. Power melee attacks against combatants makes you and nearby allies radiant. What's radiant? I love it. Your weapons are enhanced by the power of the Traveler and deal increased damage to foes. How much damage? 25% weapon damage. That's a big chunk because it will stack with something I'll talk about later. And then also I have Ember of Eruption. Your solar ignitions have increased area of effect. So you're gonna be able to ignite more people in a wider range by doing your slide, uppercut, and then slam down. So those are the 3 that I'm rocking with here. Let's talk about some of the things that we're working it with. So first, let's talk about the mods. This is the standard ones you have. Explosive Well Maker. Pretty much when you everything. Let's go to right here. Rapidly defeated combatants with explosive damage spawns a solar elemental well. So it's one of the ways we're going to get our well back. We're going to get an elemental well. We're going to be using elemental ordnance. We're also going to be using melee well maker. So kills with your grenades or kill with your melee is going to spawn a well. The reason why we want to get the well, because we're going to be using elemental charge. By picking up a well, you get 2 stacks of charge with light if you picked up a solar well on a solar class. Now you might ask, what are you using for the charge of light? For what I am going to do, I'm doing Argent Ordnance right here. While charged with light, ready or firing a rocket launcher is increased damage and reload speed. Damaging a combatant with a rocket consumes 1 stack of charge with light. So we're doing extra damage to our target when we are charged with light, and on top of that, if we have radiant on. And so when we go back to what is going to give us radiant, it's going to be that powerful melee attack, and we don't even have to kill the target. We just do the powerful melee attack, either throwing a hammer or the slide uppercut or slam down. We're going to get radiant on top of the bonus damage for the rocket. So the weapons that I am going with, I'm going with a auto-loading holster rocket. A solar one, because you're picking up a solar well. So I got something that I can always hit something with. To get more explosions, I'm using last season's grenade launcher, explosive personality. This has 2 things that I like. Golden tricorn, which gives you a buff when you get melee kills, and we're gonna be doing that with our uppercut slam. And land tank. Land tank gives you more resilience after you kill somebody. If you didn't know about that perk last season, it's a fantastic roll. Plus, explosive damage from the grenade launcher, I can get my well back quickly. Now, this is my personal, what I love. Monte Carlo is very underrated this season. Let me just talk about it for a minute. So Monte Carlo, 600 auto rifle, which feels fantastic in PvE and PvP, has the high caliber that can flinch people. But let's read the 2 perks. Markov Chain. This weapon gains increased damage from melee kills and kills with this weapon. So you get extra damage from killing targets or your melee kills. So let's talk about your throwing hammer. Let's talk about your slide, uppercut, and then you slam down. All 3 of those things are going to give you bonus damage on top of your radiant that you just activated when you did your powerful melee. Nuts. Let's keep on going with it. Second part, melee kills grant ammo to the weapon. So every time you do damage with this weapon, your melee, you don't have to kill them, you just hit them and your melee goes up, your melee charge. So if you're in between gaps between doing your uppercut or throwing your hammer, this is going to help in between. Do you see the synergy? It's so real right now. So that's the first part. And then you have Monte Carlo method. Dealing damage with this weapon reduce your melee cooldowns, and it grants a chance to fully charge your melee ability with each kill. So I literally just talked about that. Do damage. You don't have to do any, you don't have to kill them. Now, if you kill them, you have the chance to get a full charge back, but you can just do damage of it and you're going to get your melee back quickly. I'm not really stressing about having a high strength roll. To be honest with you, I have my strength at 63. The biggest stat line that I always rock with a Titan, and I hope every Titan does, is resilience. Why is resilience so important this season? Just look at the bottom row right here. With a 10 resilience, I get 40% damage reduction. Now, if you look at my Void 3.0 Titan, I'm gonna post that up above so you can check it out. So it is a good Void 3.0 build still. I spec'd into Well of Tenacity. And if you picked up a Well of Tenacity, you get 50% damage resistance, but you only got it for 6 seconds. With a 10 stack of resilience right here, you get a 40% damage resistance at all times. You don't have to pick up a well. Any character, Titan, Warlock, Hunter, you should be speccing into 10 resilience. Get yourself 40% damage reduction. All right, on top of that, go ahead and get some resistance in there. I have the Armor of the Dying Stars that gives you solar and void damage resistance. Plus, this is a solar, this is an arc piece, so I can do arc resistance. I have all 3 covered. So let's talk about real quick the exotic to use. So I've been going back and forth. Right now I'm rocking the Heart of Inmost Light. You know, this exotic right here, it improves the ability of either your grenade, melee, or barricade if you use the other one first. So the pattern that I've been doing, I've been popping my barricade, so then I get the double of the damage from my grenade and melee, and I do that vicious cycle. So this is always going. This is a really good exotic. The other one that I would probably say works, I started with the Path of Burning Steps. I probably would use a different exotic, like maybe the Vex is a good thing because the Vex has a perk on it that will get you more damage after you kill, and then you can pair it with the Path of Burning Steps since it's solar. But the other one that's really fun to use, Hellfire Heart. This right here improves the recharge rate of all your solar abilities. It greatly improves recharge rate while your super is charged. So if you're not rocking, like popping your super, you're gonna get your abilities back really quickly, and you pair it with Monte Carlo that's gonna get you your melee back quickly. You can just do your abilities as much as you want to and have a good time with it. The cool thing about this build, and this is stage 1 for everyone, change it up. This is the way I'm doing it. I'm getting a lot of damage. I'm staying in the fight. I have health because the damage resistance. I'm getting health regeneration. This is the lineup that I'm looking for. Y'all, this is just stage 1. There's one thing I'm looking for in my mod slot. You might have it already. You should think about it. This one right here, classy restoration. Activating your solar class ability grants you restoration. Let's restoration that gives you health regen, and you can't be interrupted while you're getting your health regen. So now let's think about this for a second. If I'm gonna pop my barricade and get restoration, I'm going into the fight with my melee and my solar. While all that is happening, I am getting my barrier back because I'm on a quick cooldown because I have 10 resilience. So you still gonna get the tankiness from your Void 3.0 Titan, but you're gonna do more damage. In my opinion, you do more damage in Solar 3.0 with your Titan than you did with Void 3.0 because you probably play on the defense and you probably popped your bubble. Now it's our turn as Titans to do more damage. I'm really excited. This is just stage 1. Guys, do me a favor. Comment down below. Tell me what you think. Tell me the changes that you make. Part 2 will come out when I start using more of the other mods and everything, but I want to get this out. So this is just the foundation, but I will be back with part 2. Tell me what you think. Also, as always, we are new here on YouTube. A like and a follow and a subscribe here means everything. I stream on Twitch 2 days a week. Twitch.tv/BigHandsGaming757. You'll see all my socials down below. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all the love and support. Y'all have a fantastic evening.